One of the most common user interface tasks is displaying a list of stuff. I've got a list of users here that I'd like to display on the page. You see they're very simple objects, IDs, first, last name, and an avatar. The best place to start developing new UI is the UI itself, our template. So let's go ahead and add a template here. I've got Bootstrap on the page to make it look half decent. And we have this helper here called each. We're going to say each user in our model. And then just display the user's data. The each in this template is called a helper. We'll learn in a later episode how to create these, but each is just built into Ember. It does exactly what you'd expect and iterates over each item in the model. Now we're going to write just a tiny bit of JavaScript to bring this template to life. So like before, we need to create an Ember application. And then we need to supply our application route or our root route with the data. And we do that with the model hook. And that's how we display a list of data. Very simple and straightforward. There's another signature for each that can sometimes make the markup inside a little nicer. So we can get rid of this user in and just say each model, and then get rid of this user and do it this way. With the simplified signature, the user is the context inside of our each block. So we don't need to stick user in front of those. It's nice to have these top level templates tell the general story of your application. And sometimes the markup inside of your each blocks get pretty complicated and they start to detract from the big picture of what's going on in the template. So to mitigate this, it's useful to employ partial templates. So first, let's create our new partial for our user. So we're going to end up using a partial inside of here, but we're going to move it down into its own template. And we'll just start with the list item, add a paragraph, and let's get the avatar in there. All right, so that's it. You may have noticed another template helper in here called bind attr or bind attribute. To bind attributes of an element, we use this helper, and then it will keep that up to date. So if the user's avatar changes, it'll automatically keep their avatar up to date. And you could throw any attribute at this right there, and then the value in the model there. All that's left to do now is update our each block in the application template with another helper called render. So instead of all this, we say render the user template. Notice down here it matches up with the ID of the template, and then we tell it what to render. The first argument to render is that user template, and then the second is the context that you want inside of the template. And that's it.